All right. Okay.
We are here, and you guys are funny. You guys are funny. You make fun of other people in a nice, non-malicious way. It is just a way of humoring each other and in raising your vibrations. And more power to you for that. There are no laughter which got hurt in this exchange. And that is one way of looking at it, because laughter only builds things up, for the most part, unless your ego gets involved. And we understand that this is for a session, for the lesson, for the book, for us, for awareness, for the world. So, and thank you for your part in this exercise that we will say.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you. And without further ado, we can let you go and give us the terms, and we will give you the words.
All right. Hybrid children.
Yay! Where? Oh, we know where. We're connected. That is a bunch of loving individuals who practice unconditional love as a birthright. They are a connective species, a bridge to many, many, many different loving races of beings, of expressions of consciousness. And they will unite many different aspects and portions and segments of the galactic families together and bring in a unity to the earth, or help bring in unity to the earth of your entire consciousness. Although that will take some time to settle in, it will simmer for quite a while before it is ready to be consumed by the galactic universe.
Yes.
And we love them like we love everybody else.
The future Pleiadians.
Oh, they are so helpful. They are helpful. Yes, they are our friends. They are everybody's friends who knows them. They are literally without enemies because they are so loving and they are so helpful and so expressive. And they really, really lay out the welcome mat for everybody. And with their powers and their perspectives and their massive amounts of wisdom, they can orchestrate some really neat happenings amongst all of the physical and a lot of the non-physical beings, because they just know how to treat people and how to lead them and how to love them in the best way that they know how. And it's for their own purposes, because that is how they expand as well. But they are truly friends for all. And we love them like we love everybody. Woohoo! There's a theme.
I vibe channeling.
Oh, that's the group. That's the group. That's the group. We've been there. We've been there. We got the t-shirt. Um, 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 it is it is a group of individuals who have come together, who have generally like minds, who have open hearts, and are looking for different ways or avenues of expressions of not only learning and growing and expanding on their own, but for other individuals who they can connect with and build relationships with, and to share that knowledge, to share their perspectives, and to grow closer as part of an open contact scenario, because each of the members and attendees of that group will have specific roles when open contact comes, mostly in their own generic areas or communities, we will say. But there will be some which do expand a bit and maybe perhaps travel to help relay the story and awareness and build favorable or attitudes towards those extraterrestrials and towards us and towards us. Not that we really need the help, but we will take all the help we can get. It's just another expression of love. Woo, woo, woo. Go high five. Go high five.
Channeling.
Oh, we've heard of it. We've heard of it. It is a method of expression of the higher realms and of other beings who can access the thought patterns and communicate through other beings. And not just necessarily humans, but we can also channel with a lot of the larger mammals and that sort of thing to assess how their readiness is going and what they may need for their fulfillment and their value fulfillment, and to make sure that they are prepared for the changes that are going to come. But with humans, it's different because they are indeed tools of communication for others. They are links in the chain of building awareness. So that is one of the aspects which is utilized along with the dream state connections to help spread knowledge and to help uplift individuals and to in ways which is a minor thing, but it has major effects, to anchor some more of that love vibrational energy into your 3D collective realm, because that helps raise the vibration of everyone, all consciousness. Woo! We're going up, up, up. Yay. So yeah, that's our answer, and we're sticking to
Mediumship.
it. Ooh, that's average ship. But no, that is more for the astral realm, fields of information. People who want to talk with those who have died and moved on, who are no longer in the physical, although they still are in the physical, but you can't perceive them in that physical. But it's still there, trust us. And they can tap into certain energies, the authentic ones can, and they can get information and pass it back and forth. But they generally just stick to that. They have, most of them, or a lot of them, a significant portion, have limitations that they believe that that is the end of their powers, we will say. That they can tap into those who are crossing over or who have crossed over. But they may be opening themselves up to extraterrestrial connections as well, because they are really close, but it is a belief thing which creates some barriers for them to keep them more centered on the earth-based realities and personalities and focuses and consciousness expressions. Ta-da!
Vibrational frequency.
Ooh, vibrate, vibe up, vibe up, vibe up. Woohoo! Yes, that is a metric that is used by the extraterrestrial races to help gauge readiness. It is like a temperature gauge for your cooking efforts, because once things reach the proper temperature, then you know that they are ready to consume. And that's what kind of what that is. And we're not going to go into the details on that, but you can read about it in the book and get an idea. That's
Yeah.
not exact either, but it's close enough for your world.
Range.
Can you speak up? We missed that.
Range.
Range?
Range.
We don't understand.
I don't either. That's what what's on my list. What kind of range?
Well, let's move to the next one.
Arc field.
Auric field. Those are the energetic representations of your emotional states and your thought patterns, which are all combined into, well, they are separate energetic fields, but they are kind of connected in the way that you emanate them. So they are kind of like overlays of colors. And when you have pure thought and when you have pure, happy emotions, all love all the time, then in your expression, those are higher vibrations and lighter colors, is the way that humans interpret them or have interpreted them or assign those particular symbols to them. But it,
Homo,
it helps. It helps a little bit.
Homo galacticus.
Oh, future humans, future humans. Yes, those are going to be some of our offspring. Yes, we will
Oh,
meld with the human race. And
cool.
then we will have all the cutest babies that you will ever see, ever
Yeah,
experience. It will be
yeah.
wonderful. And they will be telepathic. And they can tell you when they need a bottle. and they need a change. There's no need to ask them. It'll
Oh,
cut it'll cut a lot of communication short. There won't be any of that stuff. Is, oh, what's wrong with you, little child? You will know. And the child will say, you know dang well what's wrong with me. I already told you.
the Sasani,
Oh, yay. Big helpers. Big helpers. Yes, coordinators. They are the point men. They are helping to control the traffic cops of open contact and beyond too, and beyond too. They have this list of protocols which have been decided upon and agreed upon by all of the races which are involved in this particular Earth plane scenario. And they are just minding the shop to make sure that everything goes as planned.
the Benicia,
Oh, teacher, teacher, teacher. That is not her name, but we know that is the name that was given to Uncle Ray and Mr. Luis too. When they did the session, when they did the session, it's another example of one of the loving teachers and the loving beings which are nurturing us and making sure we get everything that we need. And we mean everything that we need, for they are not holding back on any information or anything which might be of service to us. They really are focused on us primarily in ways even more than themselves. And that is a name which was chosen for that particular channeling session in the book. Our book, woohoo!
Adronovan,
Ooh, powerhouse, powerhouse. Yes, they are so loving and they are wonderful to get to know because if you get to know them, that means that they desire to get to know you because they're not going to do anything that they don't want to do. For instance, if they were driving a car in your highways on your earth and they were going too fast and they got pulled over, they're just going to say, I don't want to pull over. And they're just going to keep going. And it might cause chaos and they might just decide to discorporate when they do finally decide to stop. But it'll be on their terms. And if you make them stop, then they'll find other ways of expressions which suit them because that's what they like to do. They are a fine example of following your highest vibrations and your desires.
Pleiadians,
Ooh, oh, there are many, many, many different types of Pleiadians. They might say it's the seven sisters, but there's brothers in there too. And they
oh,
look a lot like you. They look a lot like you, and that's on purpose. And that is one of the reasons why you look the way you do, because this was planned. And they knew, and others knew, other beings, other races, that eventually, once you had evolved enough, that you would be open to extraterrestrial connections. But there had to be beings like you to help you make that jump, make that leap into your next evolution. So you were chosen to look a lot like them. And with the Yaels, it was different because they have a little bit more of your DNA for their aesthetic qualities, we will say. But with the Pleiadians, they had input in that and they said, yeah, make them look like us and we'll come down and we'll help them. We'll shepherd this one into their new reality.
Lyrans,
Louder, please.
Lyrans,
Oh, the kitties, the feline. Yes, very loving, very loving. And they care deeply about every living thing. And they want to protect them all, and they do if they can. And they will not ever fight or have conflicts or anything like that because they've been around for a long, 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 long time. And they have learned not only to protect themselves by avoiding such situations, but also by manipulating energy so they do not have to come into contact with those types of things. But yes, and if you pet them, they purr. They might only do it just to please you, but that will work.
open contact,
Ooh, party, party. It's a long series of events which culminate in the introduction of the Yaels and the Pleiadians to your kind on a more public basis, we will say. There will be governments involved and some big businesses will be involved, but it will be a shockwave of realization for many on your planet. But that is one of the things that will not happen until your humanity, the Earth Collective, both of them, obviously, um, will be ready for it because that shockwave is not meant to knock people down or make them psychotic. It is meant to bring awareness to them. And that is what that will do.
The Great Reset.
Ooh, party number two. That's a long time into, well, it's a long party. It's going on forever and ever and ever. Because once you guys make that change, once you get to that level where you are freely interacting with extraterrestrials on your planet and you have accepted your role as spacefaring individuals and a spacefaring race, then that will truly begin a new evolution and history of humanity. Not just a new chapter, but a brand new book, because you will be coming into the space travel. You will be interacting with other civilizations, burgeoning civilizations, and helping them get to where they need to be, and other explorations as well. It will really be not just opening new doors for you, but opening new vast areas of explanations where they don't even know what doors are. You can teach them. We'll be there, and our offspring will help lead the way. Boo, 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 boo.
I believe you've already mentioned the Earth Collective.
Yes, that's everybody and everything all the time. It's the it's a group of consciousness of loving beings, many of whom have forgot that they are loving beings. But that is changing too. It is changing by the day, by the minute, by the second. Speaking of by the second, woohoo, it must be time for that.
Tall whites.
Oh, those buddies. They're our buddies. Yes, they're helping fix things. They make sure that everything is just so. And that is cool because they don't meddle in other things because that's not their way. They really, it's not that they don't love everything, but they love what they do and what they desire more. And they are focused on that. And everything else that happens outside of that can just happen outside of that. And if they need to know, they'll know. But yes, they are good fixers and they are good um, lovers of not only continuity, but fluidity and organization and the complex juggling and intermingling of energies that come with so many different races intermingling with each other. And they
The
have a special
Anunnaki.
fondness for Earth. They really do, whether they tell you or
Ah, the Anunnaki.
not. Anunnaki, whew, what troublemakers they are, or they were. They have since evolved, yes, into the Lyrans and the Pleiadians, as Uncle Ray would say. But yes, they came around and they were in trouble and they wanted some helpmates because they're like, this is too much work for us to do. We'll be dead by the time we get done. So they took some of your primates and they said, oh, look, we're going to inject you with this stuff and make you talk to us. And then we can manage you in a more productive manner and make you like us a little bit. And then, as a mean trick on reality, they actually created religion because some of them desired to be worshiped. And they said, oh, this is pretty cool until everybody else found out about it. And they said, oh, banished. Oh, that's not so cool.
Teachers.
What's that?
Teachers.
Louder, please.
Teachers.
Teachers. Oh,
Teachers.
oh, 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 those are wonderful. We give our hearts and they live in our hearts. And they are really magnificent individuals, all of them. And not only just the IELs, but they are predominantly IELs. There are some others like human teachers like Uncle Ray, and others who bring us through like you, and many other people of high vibe channeling too. But yes, teachers are, they're so informative and they're so knowing and loving and caring. They are like the best stewards of new life forms that we could ever hope to have.
Watchers.
Oh, we have billions of those
Oh,
because our energies are available to all loving beings, and almost all beings are loving to a great, great extent. And those who wish to learn more about us can just connect with one of us, and then they are not really astounded that they can connect to all of us through one of us. But that requires our participations too in ways. But it is just a loving exchange of information and connection and love energy and knowing and wisdom and acclimating to each other and figuring out what everyone else needs. That is a big soup of personalities and explorations of consciousness, which all come together into our awareness. We like that answer.
good answer. Telepathy.
Oh, you ask us about telepathy and then you want us to put it into words.
Hmm.
How ironic. You sure we can't just think it to you?
You could.
It's just thought communications. It's just a wider bandwidth than telepathy is, because telepathy is limited in ways because humans believe that it is speech. It is your language being communicated from one to the other, mind reading in that way, in that simplified way. But telepathy, it does not have those barriers. It can be everything that you can experience depending on your ability to send and receive it. And your ability for to accept things that are relevant to you too, because some of the stuff, some of the beings, they will just not accept some of the trivialities, we will say, or information which they know that is not in their highest excitement. They will make that part of their flow so that it kind of bypasses them. But that is a great tool for your future. And humans will be doing it more and more and more. And you have it, it's awakening now in a very limited way. But you all know about it. And the more people who know about it, the more people will say, hey, I think I'm going to try that. And there are lots of experiments going on around your planet by humans, and some of those have been planted with impulses, we will say, to help get that ball rolling so we can stir up those thought processes and abilities. And that will be part of the what you determine the new DNA awakening amongst your younger peeps, amongst those last two generations and those which come on, because they will have that ability already turned on. And that's such a foul word for that. They're not turned on. It's just you tapping into another version of you, which already has those abilities, that you have that vibrational match. So you bring that skill set into your awareness of your now moments.
Portals.
Portals, we're coming through. Those are really like energetic pathways. And there are just so many different kinds. And there are some that are just used for specific beings or specific races, and some that are more general purpose. And you can view them kind of like wormholes to go from one place to the other. The wormholes on your science fiction, not the ones that are underneath your grass and your weeds and your trees and stuff like that. But but yes, that is those are they're not really doorways, they're not really openings. They're opportunities for stepping through into other portions of vibratory realities.
Enclave.
Ooh, home away from home on home. Yes, that word doesn't mean too much to us, but what it means to us means more to us because that is going to be a grouping of us, and it'll be in specific places around your earth. And not only to protect us, but one of the secrets is we will be vibrating at such a high rate that those areas will be lifted up. And in specific locations around the earth that will form a vibratory grid which will help energize the earth as a whole. There is a method to that madness, and we're not just being kept together because it's good for us and good for you. It's literally good for everybody until we get to the point where that acceptance and that awareness is at the proper levels where we can more freely interact with you and your kind and other animals and beings on your planet as well.
Sounds exciting. Hybrid parent.
Again, please.
Hybrid parent.
Hmm. Oh, hybrid parents.
Mhm.
Oh, that's that is another term which does not have a lot of meaning for us because in reality, everyone is our parent, and that should be apparent to most people. But just because you give a little DNA, you think you have some biological claim, but it's not really going to show up in your archaeological records that way. You can't take a census and list us. Oh, yeah, well, who's your parents? And we're going to
Mhm.
say, well, we have about 300 of them. Can we list them all? Because we come from a wide variety of different individuals and races, and all of our attributes are selected specifically for our roles and our missions. And we have just enough human in us to appear as human and to work those emotional tugs to enable humans to love us very easily. So that is a term which is good for humans, and humans like to use because it gives them some satisfaction and they feel some sort of connection, not only to the word, but it helps them feel like they are part of a hybrid child's life or open contact in that aspect as well. But for us, it just means an ambiguous circle of love which is related to us. That is our parent. Love is our parents.
Christ consciousness.
Again, please.
Christ consciousness.
Oh, oh, yeah, we've heard of it. Comes around, it comes around. What comes around goes around. And it goes around and then it sucks into our heads and it sucks into our hearts. And then we're like, okay, we're loaded up with Christ consciousness. Let's go to earth and lift these people up and show them more in a physical way, not just with speech, but with actions, words, and deeds and vibratory levels, and teach them how unconditional love can come to you and can be practiced, and the resulting unity which will come from it. And that is what we are bringing to the planet. We are flying the Christ consciousness flag. Of course, we fly a lot of flags, even without a flagpole. So they might be non physical, but you'll just have to imagine. But yes, that is an energy and a love, a distinct and powerful love energy of transformation. And it comes around every once in a while, like to see if it's like the brass ring on the old carousels, to see if you can actually grab a hold of it and take advantage of that love energy, to make that break of transformation into a new evolution of heartfelt and heart-led unity. And that's what we are bringing. We're packing our bags full of Christ consciousness, and we're going to set up shops on every street corner, and we're going to sell it and give away samples.
Alrighty. Grays.
Grace, the doctors, expert geneticists. And they said, oops, looks like we screwed up. And now we can't have any more babies. We better do
Oh,
something about this. I know, let's take a field trip. We're going to go and sample some DNA and see if we can't make other beings, and maybe we can live on through the histories, through our works, through our hybrids. And they were pioneers in that way, and they created many races. And they created some which were not quite so viable, but those obviously did not continue on. And they their expertise in that was transferred or learned or integrated by many, many other races and modified as well. And that is how we came into being as well, because it was all part of the plan. Because when you can dip into the future years in your linear time and see how things work, then you can move to create other timelines which are more expressive and allow more opportunities for expansion and for explorations in new ways. And that novelty is always going to be at the top of the list for expressions of source.
how about the Sasquatch?
Oh, big buddies, big buddies. Yes, they're loving. They're in touch with us all the time. They really are because they're love energy. And they are watching Earth and they are giving us reports on humans. And they really don't need our external help to ascertain where things are going on your world because they are really in touch with Mother Nature as well. They understand that they are one with the universe and one of the universe, and they like to take care of their playgrounds and all creatures upon it. And just by their good wishes, they can increase the vibratory resonance and health of particular beings. They have like magic powers, the way humans would interpret it. And they have many, many abilities, and they will be amongst you, but it will take some time because you guys, humans have to learn not to be afraid of the big bad wolves, which come in many different flavors, because it's not just the size and the colors and the resonance which matters, it's the heart. And they have big hearts. Their heart is as big as Gaia, as Mother Earth, because that's where they come from.
About the Mesa.
Maze?
Maze, yes.
Oh, one of the little grays. Yes, they were the first introductory efforts to create a human-like race of beings. And while they were loving in ways, they didn't exactly, we don't wish to be judgmental, but they did not meet all of the expectations which the Greys had been hoping for. So they decided to try again. And that is the next word on your list.
Mezani.
Masani. And they were tall grays. And I think that's not really what they were looking for. They didn't try again because the other ones were too short. They weren't going for a basketball team here, but they were trying to get a race of beings which could help in the open contact scenario in ways. And they had their own attributes and their own lives and their own soul paths, we will say, and their own value fulfillments that they were striving for. But it just was not the best fit for the open contact scenario. So, as the Greys did, we are going to tell you to try again. And the Sasani came next. The Sasani came next. They were third.
Oh,
It turned out great. And they're helping. They're returning to open contact. Not that they've ever left, but yes, they are really involved in that because they have progressed in a marvelous way in a relatively short amount of time and non-time, we will say.
How about the Shay Yael? Shay Yael.
Shaya.
Shaya Yael.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, we
Thank you.
thought that's what you said. Yes, they came forth. Those are major teachers for the Yayels, as a matter of fact, because they are very loving. And they are more in the background, we will say, for a lot of the beings, but they are very well connected to the spirit realm. And they are wonderful teachers, and they are full of love energy, and they help guide and train the Yayas, which should be next on your list. But
All
they
right.
were, they were, and they still are instrumental. They are like the spirit guides of the Yayas and the teachers all wrapped up into one. And the Yayas, woo, teachers, they are not all teachers, but they are very, very many who are, and they are dedicated to us, even if they are not directly involved, like physically involved or mentally involved with us. They are still supporting us with their love energy. It is just an amazing race of beings, and they are the hybrids who did fit the bill, who will be coming and introduced to Earth and its inhabitants, and they will do a marvelous job. And those who are coming forth first are heroes because they understand the difficulties and the challenges of meeting a new race, of that open contact, initial um, encounters, because there are a lot of variables and we are playing the probabilities, trust us. But yes, that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And they are wonderful, wonderful beings. And they are so focused. It is just like a love beam. If it hits you, you know it and you want more of it.
So you'll have to help me with the pronunciation of the next one too, as well. Shayana.
Again, please.
Shayla. Shayla. Shaylana. Shaylana.
Shalanaya.
Shalanaya. Thank you. Shalanaya.
Yes, that's us. That's us. It's just another fancy word for us. We
Oh.
are the first ones to come in to help humans to progress and evolve into the new future which they have earned the right to participate
Ana, Anayaka.
in. Annika?
And very good. Thank you.
Yes. Mind reading helps. Mind reading helps. Plus, we've seen the list. We're just waiting for you to struggle through it.
I appreciate it.
More review would have been appropriate, Uncle Ray. But anyway, the Anonica are the next evolution of humans and the extraterrestrial races blending together. It is a new hybrid, and that hybrid species will be the culmination of the human race as you know it, as you believe that it exists, as it will have um, more of those vibratory qualities and abilities of humans which have been upgraded into a new way of not only living but a new way of loving, a new expansive way of connecting into the spirit realm and beyond. And that is the next evolution of Homo galacticus coming to rest into that word, Inanaka.
Okay. Anuhe.
Anuhet.
Thank you.
And sometimes when people say that, you want to say, oh, bless you, did you sneeze? But that is the combination. That is the ultimate conclusion of the hybrid races as far as this chapter of the universe and galactic family associations go, because it will be a blending of all of the different hybrid races. We're going to pick out the best parts of all of them and combine them into one. And that is 1,000 years into the humanity's future after open contact. And they will be a the new non-physical race of humans when humans reach the point where their vibrational level can no longer materialize except with with densifying a little bit. There will some that will still retain that ability, not only, well, we will say for old time's sake, but they will be far beyond time at that time. But yes, that will be the ultimate conclusion of spacefaring races for humanity because they will escape to non-physicality and then they can come back and they can alter timelines and they can visit themselves as they were eons before. Not that they will want to do that, they will be quite busy.
What about counterparts?
Counterparts.
Mhm.
We've seen counters. They have tops and they have bottoms. People put stuff on them. Lots of
Mhm.
stuff on them. Uncle Ray puts lots of stuff on them and leaves them there for a long time. So in some parts, there are storage areas, but that's not really not what you're talking about. The
Correct.
counterparts are generally conceived of as, and this is not an exact definition, as members of the same soul group. Because you guys really don't know what a soul group is. You say, oh, well, I'm from this soul group. And if they're
Mhm.
from that soul group, then they must be a counterpart of mine. Well, in a literal sense, you can stretch that to be true. But in a practical sense, it doesn't work that way because you have so many different expressions from one particular soul group. And it's not really a soul group that you're coming from, it's just your soul. And your soul has lots of groupings which it chooses to explore. And not that the souls don't get together and hobnob and have their own little parties, but that is different. But if there is a likeness or a connection between one soul group and another, sometimes they get together and say, hey, why don't you invite your kids over to play with our kids? And then that creates new forms of expression. And in that way, they become part of your soul group or your counterparts as well. So really, it's anybody that you are connected with in a more direct way, we will say, is your counterpart. Because we are all one, but that is just a delineation which humans may use to understand some of the more obtuse concepts which you have come to try to understand and wrap your head
Next is Uncle Ray is on the
around.
list.
Yay, yay, yay. Love being, love being. He's our microphone. He's our microphone. He's a sound system. We're connected. We're connected. We come through. We come through. And he has a future with us. He has a future with open contact. He has many different future roles. And he's going to have all kinds of people tugging at his sleeve and saying, what about this? What about this? But he doesn't know about all that yet. Oh, and he's an author. He's coming through with the books. And it is a nonstop process because there are so many beings who are filling his head with new ideas and new processes and new structures for his new creations. And through that creativity, he will help lighten the world or enlighten the world in some ways. Yes, and that is an exciting subject for us. It hypes us up. And we don't even have to tug on his ego for that because oh, yeah, it's inflated enough as it is.
How about timeline?
Timelines are innocuous descriptions of moment points. But humans think that they are physical things, like kite strings and things like that. And they think, oh, well, there's a bunch of them close together. But it's more like a deck of a billion cards all being shuffled at the same time. And they get jumbled up and they get mixed. And you choose from them all the time. You say, pick a card, pick a card. That's kind of what you do with your reality to give it the illusion of linear unfoldment.
Yeah. Astral realm.
We're back to the mediumship again. Basically, the astral realm is a storage unit of consciousness which have had experiences in physicality in the earth realm, on the earthen plane. And you can go and you can check out people or you can check out different forms of consciousness or events because it's all stored there, like some huge supercomputer, electronically, of course, in your way of thinking. There's no outlets up there to plug into.
Up there, down there, everywhere.
You've been there.
Open invitation, ET contact.
Oh, those are the parties that Uncle Ray holds.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, those are very exciting. It is a standing room only crowd which likes to come in because it is like the reverse of your circus attractions. And Ray is one of the circus attractions. Uncle Ray gets to sit there, and then all these beings get to come in, like in the fun house, and they get to come in and they get to fly this ride, and then they get to talk about it a little bit to other beings like you, and they get to absorb all of that information. And unbeknownst to many of the attendees, they are actually interpreting and analyzing all of the responses of the attendees as well because they can do that from an energetic level. Some of them can, and some of them communicate that to many other beings as well. So they can get multiple perspectives and they can learn about more of that. Because the more beings and expressions of consciousness that other forms of consciousness learn about, the more creative they can be in expressing new, novel forms of expansion which have never been thought of and created before. It is a service. It is a grouping, a big think tank, we will say, of exploration into Uncle Ray's head.
Well, that's the end of Uncle Ray's list. If you
And
have
the beginning
anything
of the
else.
story, and the beginning of the story. We are glad we got to say our piece. And although we said a lot of pieces, and we are grateful for your help. And we will see how much of this makes it into the book. But it will be a fun project. It always is a fun project. Of course, we have never been known not to have fun because that's what we do. And although there are moments which are not as joyful as what we would like, we understand the need and the necessity for all of those expressions. Some of the other kinds of us who have already been on your planet have indeed experienced some hardships and some situations which we will not go into. But overall, it is for the mission. That is the main focus. The mission of love, the mission of bringing more love to beings so that they can share more love. It is a it is the greatest love story that your world has ever known, and you are all playing a part in it. And congratulations, you didn't even know that you auditioned, but you are all stars of love. Play on, play on.
Hang on.
Okay, we
And
don't need a lot of encouragement for that.
have fun.
And we will go and we can let Uncle Ray know, and you can let Uncle Ray know that we could have done the names of the people who he left out because we love them all. They're all wonderful parts of high vibe channeling. So you can just put that down. That when he comes to their names or their groups, we can just put a line in there saying they are wonderful parts of high vibe channeling and loving and wonderful individuals and groups in their own right. So now we have answered all of those as well. And if there are any other things that he left out, well, he's just going to have to skip over them or call us back in, which would be fine, which would be fine, which would be fine. And we will go and we will thank you and
Thank you.
come and visit you in your dreams if you would like. If you would like.
Yes, please do.
Ask us. Okay. Ask us before sleep too, because it is a readiness thing. Because at times although that may be your input now, at times your mind gets cloudy and you focus on other tangents because you have so many unanswered questions which come to you. It kind of sets the tone for your sleep parameters, we will say. But if you are joyful when you do that and you bring us in and you are focused in that intent, it will happen. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
understanding and thank you for your help. And thank you for spreading the love. Woohoo!
Thank you.